questions all the way through. And just after Sam turns the video camera on, the stuff I'm going to go through this evening, there's also a page on my website, so if you want to go and have a nose at that, save you writing down notes, then you can. Are we rolling? Cool, that's great. Okay, hands up here who has more work than they know what to do with. Okay, good, good. And hands up here who doesn't have nearly as much work as they'd like. Okay, so there's a bit of a mixture. That's often the case. And that's what I call the feast and famine roller coaster. So 1 month you're up here, you've got stacks of work, you're so busy you don't know whether you're coming or going. The next month you're down here in the pit of despair. You haven't got enough work to keep you busy and out of mischief. Fear not, because what I'm going to share with you in this talk is tips on how to get off that feast and famine roller coaster, how to build a business that brings you a steady flow of clients. I'm Chantel Cornelius, and I run a marketing company called Appletree that specialises in doing just that, helping clients to plan their marketing and then implement it so that they get a steady flow of business. And I'm going to take you through a 9-stage process that I've been developing over the last sort of 13 years that I've been running my business. As I said, please feel free to ask questions during if you need to. But I am going to need your help with a few things. So, the first thing to think about when you're planning with your marketing is this question, Bernard.
Where are you now?
Where are you now? I'm going to give you a little analogy that I often use. On the 7th of January this year, I received an email from a charity that I support saying, would you like to run the London Marathon for us this year? Okay, I thought. Interesting question. The first thing I had to do was think about where am I now? Now it just so happens that September last year I started training to run a marathon, and I planned to run it in May this year. So I knew that I was halfway through my training plan. But if I hadn't stopped and thought, where am I now in the training plan, then I couldn't have made a sensible judgment, a sensible decision about whether or not to run the London Marathon. And you need to do the same with your business. You need to stop and think, where is my business now? How many clients have I got? What's my turnover? What resources do I have? What's different about my business? What's my USP, my unique selling point? Because until you've thought about all of that, you can't actually safely move on in your business. So that's stage 1. Stage 2, James, what does that say?
Where do you want to be?
Where do you want to be? This is about goals and objectives. So, having decided that, yes, okay, I'm going to run the London Marathon this year, my goal was that on the 21st of April this year, I would complete the London Marathon in 4 hours and 20 minutes without killing myself and raise £1,500 in the process for the charity. So that was my goal. It was a really clear goal. It was firmly locked in there for quite a few months. It's what kept me going. I don't know if you remember what the weather was like this spring. Rain, snow, sleet, hail, more rain, more snow. I ran in that. It was lovely. It was great. But I trained in that. And that goal kept me going. So you need to do the same for your business. You need to set a goal for your business as to where you're going. Now this could be the number of staff that you want, the amount of turnover that you want, the number of clients that you want, the number of days holiday that you want to take this year. Doesn't matter what it is, but you need a goal to be able to work towards. Stage 3, Michaela.
How will you get there?
How will you get there? So I decided to run the London Marathon. I'd set my goal, but then I started thinking, okay, this is quite a big, scary thing to do. Do I need to learn to run faster? Do I need to increase my distance? Do I need to eat more? Do I need to eat less? What should I be drinking? Should I be eating when I'm running? What should I be drinking when I'm running? All of these questions. By the way, marathon running, great for eating. Stuffed my face for months. It was fabulous. Loved it. You need to do the same for your business. You need to be thinking, do I need more customers, or do I need to work more with my existing customers? Do I need to sell more of my existing services? Do I need to look for new products and services? So you need to start kind of weighing up all the different possibilities, the different ways in which you can grow your business. Because until you do that, you still can't actually do any marketing. Stage 4.
Who are your ideal clients?
who are your ideal clients? I'm going to let you into a secret. Your ideal clients are not everybody with a pulse and a credit card. It's not how it works anymore. Because your ideal clients are the people who love you. They're the people who want to pay you what you want to charge. They're the people who pay on time. They're the people who, for instance, my ideal clients, they do their homework. They take our advice. They come to us and say, I've got this idea, do you think I should be doing this? And we say, yeah, that's a great idea, we'll do it for you. And they say, fine, okay, off you go and do it. So they trust us to do stuff. We've worked in the past with clients who don't trust us, they don't let us do what we know works, they don't take our advice, they don't do their homework. We actually sacked a client earlier this year because he kept saying, oh, that won't work, no, that won't work, no, that won't work, oh, I haven't got time to do that. And it got to the point I thought, well, why are you actually paying us for our advice? So we agreed to part company. So you need to look for clients who you really want to work with and who want to work with you. So you've looked at where you are now in your business, you've looked at where you want to be, and you've looked at how you're going to get there. You've now looked at your ideal clients. Finally, you get to ask this question.
What's the best marketing to do?
What is the best marketing to do? Jolly good question. So what you need to do with this is have a bit of a brainstorm. And we often play with flip charts when we're doing this with clients. So we'll get a flip chart and we'll brainstorm and cover one side of the flip chart in online marketing and the other side in offline marketing. And we'll come up with as many ideas as we can come up with that we think might work for that business based on their goals and objectives and the strategies that we're going to use and their ideal clients. But you still can't actually do anything with that list. And that's a mistake that a lot of businesses make. They'll create the list and rush off and start doing it. Because, first of all, we've got an accountant in the room. There's one. What does that say?
How much will you cost?
How much will it cost? I always get the accountant to do that. So you've got your list of possible marketing activities. You then need to look at how much each one is going to cost and what return you might get from it. And you need to start crossing things off. So anything that is too outrageously expensive or that you know isn't going to give you a good return, take it off the list. Because there'll be masses on there that you'd love to do, like, I don't know, write your company name across the sky with a skywriting plane or whatever. So take off the list the stuff that is not going to fit within your budget or that isn't going to give you a good return. Once you've done that, you'll have a slightly smaller list, and then you can ask this question.
Who will do it?
Who will do it? A lot of people I meet are one-man bands, one-woman bands, who think they have to do everything. It's not true. If you're not a web developer, do not try to create your own website. It's like if you're not an accountant, don't try to do your own accounts. It just doesn't work. But it's the same with marketing. If you're not a graphic designer or a photographer, Spike, I loved what you said earlier about the photograph of, this is me. Don't do it. Get a photographer in to do it. So look for the people who can help you with your marketing. I hate cold calling. I'm rubbish at it. But I would get somebody like you to do it for me because I'm so bad at it. I'd go, oh, okay, you don't want me. Oh, well, I'll put the phone down. So if you can't do it, don't. Look for people who can do it for you. It doesn't have to cost a fortune getting other people in, but long term you'll actually save money because they're better at it than you are. So go through your list where you've crossed off all the ones that you don't want to be doing, and then start looking at, okay, can I do some of this? So for instance, networking and speaking in public. Networking, you guys need to be doing that yourself. You can't really pay somebody else to do it. Speaking in public, if you like it, if you've been trained, great, go and do it. If you think cold calling needs to be on your list and you don't want to do it, find somebody to do it for you. The next question to ask is,
how long will it take?
How long will it take? Marketing secret number 2. Marketing does not work overnight. You cannot just wave a magic wand and have it work. You can't just turn up at a networking meeting and go home and wait for the phone to ring. It ain't going to happen. What you need, and I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see this, what you need is a page 63, which looks like that. Okay, so what this is down, it's a spreadsheet basically. And down the side here, you've got all of your marketing activities that you've decided you're going to do because you can afford them, they fit with your budget, you've got the right people to do them. So you put those down the side. Across the top is time. Now we actually have this as flip charts on my office wall. And we've got about 20 different marketing activities that we do on a weekly basis. What we then do is we plan what's going to happen. So each week we've got information, details on that flip chart, on the spreadsheet of what we're going to be doing. So I can look at the chart and I know that we're running events in October and November this year. They're on the flip chart in big red pen, which means we can work backwards from them. So the October one, my August newsletter will be mentioning it. We'll be blogging and tweeting and doing LinkedIn stuff about that event starting in August. In fact, we've already started. So you put the big things at this end of the chart and you work backwards. And it means you can then integrate everything that you're doing. So if you're writing a newsletter about one topic, you can write a blog about it as well. You can write tweets about it. You can talk about it at networking events. So you need to create one of these, and this is the bit that will stop you from being on the feast and famine. Because every week you look at your chart, you see what needs to be done, and you do it. And you find time to do it. That's the other part of this one in terms of how long will it take. Work on stuff that you can actually fit into your own busy schedule. The final stage. Sam.
Why should you measure?
Why should you measure? You should measure your marketing because really, really good marketing is all about finding out what works and doing more of it. The only way you can find out what works is by measuring your marketing. I have a confession to make. I used to be a member of 4 Networking in 2009, and after 6 months I left. Because it didn't work. I measured it, and it didn't work. I wasn't meeting the right sort of businesses. I came back in March last year. It's working brilliantly now, and I know that because I measure it. I know that 42% of my current clients have come through networking, and 42% come through referrals. I also know that about 75% of the copies of my book that I've sold this year, I've sold to 4 networking members. So that's what we do. We measure. So measure every single aspect of your marketing. Because if you don't measure, you're not going to know what works. And you're going to end up spending a lot more money. So that is a very quick run through of the 9-minute marketing plan, or that was the 19-minute marketing plan. Any questions?
What do you do differently in 2009 when you came
I
back?
love that question.
It must be something you do.
This is not a sales pitch.
You wrote a book.
I wrote a book. The book was a big part of it. The book is the 9-stage process, and it's an easy way for people to get to know what we do. We also run workshops, which are low cost. What I was doing last time is I was going to networking meetings saying, we have a £500 a month marketing service. And people going, that's too big and expensive. So now we have a £15 book, we have a £40 workshop, we have £150 a month mentoring service, we have marketing that starts at £150 and goes up to £1,000 a month. So we've got much more, it's much easier to kind of buy into us and try. And that's something that you should all do, is have, some people call it a marketing funnel, some people call it a sales ladder. It's a way of having small tasters where people can buy a little bit of you and try you out before having to go the full. But that's what we've done differently. It works. Any other questions?
You said measure. How do you measure your achievements? What tool did you use, or did you just I got this from this, I got it? Did you use any tool, or just?
I have a database. It's very old-fashioned. It's an Access database, and I love it because it works. Every time we get an inquiry in from somebody, we log it on the database. So we put all their contact details in. We also log how they heard about us. So was it for networking, and if so, which group? Was it a referral? If so, who referred them? Which other networking might it have been? So, and that database, every time I want to, I can go to it and tell it and say, give me all our current clients, because we can, once somebody converts from a prospect to a client, we mark that up and we sort of segment them and do all sorts of clever, funky stuff with them. So I can go to the database and say, give me all of my current clients, tell me where they came from. That's how we do it. So yes, you need some sort of, you need a database, you need a CRM system that can do that for you. But yeah, it's invaluable.
Chantel, your business, do you come up with marketing ideas for businesses, or do you actually, you do, right? And do you also kind of will you tweet on behalf of businesses? And things like, you know, like the kind of, a lot of businesses will
Yeah.
carry out your marketing for you, so you haven't got to think
Yeah.
what to...
We do it in two ways. We
Yeah.
have some clients who want to do their own marketing, so we advise them and say, do this, this and this. We have other clients who go, oh, just do the whole lot for us. So yeah, we put their hat on and we do blogs, tweets, newsletters, the whole works. I had a really nice incident not so long ago where a client referred me to somebody she knew and said to me, he needs a newsletter. So I phoned him up and I said, we write Sue's newsletter and she thinks you need one. And he said, but I thought she wrote it. He had no idea that she wrote it because we get under their skin and get to know. So, but yeah, it's a mixture. The thing that doesn't work so well is engagement. So we can write tweets and blogs and what have you for other people, but our clients still have to go and engage with what's going on. There's a certain amount, like if somebody replies to tweets in certain ways, we can do replies for them. But at some point, the client has to get involved. And I think this is where a lot of people are going wrong with social media. They're just pushing stuff out. They're going tweet, 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 or blog or whatever, and they're not actually interacting with other people and checking to see what's going on and having conversations. That's why it's called social media. It's a conversation.
Or anti-social media.
Or anti-social media at the moment, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that too.
Chantel, when you said that you did sort of a trial project, is that a one-off project, or would you do it for so many months or months?
We don't do trial projects, but people can buy the book or the workshop or start on a lower cost. We only ever work with clients on a monthly basis. This is part of my ideal client profile, I suppose. We don't work. If somebody comes to me and says, "Can I pay you monthly by invoice?" the answer is no, because I know what will happen. They'll pull out after a couple of months. We have to chase the invoices. It's annoying. So we'll do a monthly thing for a minimum of 6 months, but we'll start with a small amount. So clients come to us and say, "Well, I've only got 100 quid a month. What can I have?" And we'll work out the best thing. So that's the way we start, and then they kind of, as we get them more business, they spend more money with us. But this isn't a sales pitch.
No, it was just
Yeah.
Any other questions, anybody?
Thank you.
I just have one thing to add. 21st of April, 4 hours 39 minutes. Didn't kill myself. Raised £2,010.
That's good.
Well done, you. And thank you very much for a very interesting